Just look at this little guy with the red hat. Doesn't he seem like a great, lovely person? Well, that isn't the case. Mario is not a hero and loves to stomp on Goombas, Koopas, and other creatures, and all of this for no reason. Ah, the violence. Anyways, nowadays I'm trying to beat as many Mario games as I can without hurting anyone, as I want to improve Mario's reputation. The rules are simple. We are going to be playing New Super Mario Bros. 2, and we'll try to beat this game without using violence. That means that we will try to avoid hurting anyone when possible. If we absolutely have to hurt someone, we'll just try to go for the minimum amount of violent acts and victims. Alright, let's just jump into it. World 1-1 is actually filled to the brim with Goombas and Koopa Troopas just mindlessly walking left and right. While it may be tempting to jump on one of these guys, it's totally unnecessary. And well, I managed to beat this level without any issues. Oh, I guess I should mention that when you grab the flagpole, every enemy on screen just vanishes. But for the sake of this quest, I don't count this as an act of violence. Because well, it's the game that does that, and not Mario attacking the enemies directly. 1-2 starts off with a lonely Koopa Troopa inside of a box, and we normally have to hit the POW block to destroy him and go down this pipe. Obviously, I don't want to do that, but luckily I can just break some blocks with a ground pound attack. After that, there's gonna be multiple POW blocks and turtles to defeat, but we can dodge them all and reach the end. 1-3 is there to introduce the Raccoon Leaf power-up, and well, this one allows us to fly in the sky and dodge all of the enemies. Next up is 1-Tower, and well, this one was quite simple, but as soon as I got to the top and entered this big door, well, I stumbled on a boss fight. Actually, two bosses to defeat. Reznor requires us to hit the blocks underneath them to defeat them all, meaning that we'd have to commit 2 acts of violence to go through this tower. This is pretty sad and not something I want to do, but hear me out, there might be a way out of this situation. After we touch the midway flagpole in the tower, we can enter this door over here, and if we go to the right there, we can reach a secret exit that will lead us to the other side of the tower, and all of this without having to attack poor Reznor. Neat! We avoided some violence, let's freaking go! Time to get into the big cannon there to see where it will lead us. Dodging all of the Koopa Troopas while we run super fast can be a bit tricky, but it's not that bad. World Mushroom-1 is up, and it was a bit challenging, as there are multiple Paratroopas just bouncing all over the place. Sometimes it almost felt like they were trying to get me to crush them on purpose. Come on guys, I don't want to be violent. Mushroom-2 is the first underwater level we'll play today, and well, it's actually full of cheap-cheeps and Urkins out there to get you. Luckily, avoiding them all is not too bad. Mushroom-Ghost House is up, and well, this one doesn't feature that many enemies to attack, but it is kind of a maze-like level. I opened up random doors and tried to navigate all of the puzzles, and well, I ended up getting a secret exit instead of the normal one. But I think that's okay, because if we take a look at the world map, we can see that there is a warp cannon over there, under the castle. Beating the castle probably forces us to attack a boss, which we want to avoid doing for the quest, so let's just hope this level here brings us to that warp cannon. Mushroom-B was a tricky vertical level where we needed to hit a bunch of blocks to get some vines to climb on. There are POW blocks meant to hit them all at once, but that could also attack some poor Koopa Troopas, so I avoided them as much as I could. But hey, it was worth it in the end, because look at that! We now have access to a warp pipe. I wonder where this one will lead us this time around. After dodging a bunch of Boomerang Bros and some evil crows, I made my way to World Flower, which seems like a nice place to be. And hey, look, there's also a warp cannon to the right there, so I guess we'll aim for that once again. World Flower-1 is the first stop of the day, and well, it wasn't too bad. Sure, there's a bunch of Koopas and Goombas to avoid, but nothing too scary. Flower Dash Ghost House was next, and this one is full of booze, and even a giant one that is actually quite spooky, but it was alright. Flower Dash 2 was easy, but there is something wrong here. This leads me closer and closer to the castle, and not closer to the warp cannon. I feel like I'm doing something wrong here. And well, after doing a bit of research, I can safely say that I was doing something wrong. I'm supposed to find a secret exit in World Flower Dash 1. Well, oopsie, guess I didn't need to play all those levels after all. Oh well, let's just go back and find that secret exit. We actually have to hit this block here and then ride it up in the sky to reach the exit. Huh. Well, that was very well hidden actually. Good job, Nintendo. A new path has opened up, and well, it leads us to World Flower Dash A, a level that was actually a bit of a pain in the butt. I mean, it's full of ice, and Mario slides all over the place, plus there's a bunch of Koopas and other enemies to dodge. It wasn't easy dodging them all, but it is possible, and well, look at that. The path opens up to get to the warp cannon. Oh yeah, baby, let's freaking go! The warp cannon level was actually a bit tricky, with all of the bombs and the amps enemies on the way, but with my leaf bar up, I can just fly and avoid hitting all of these guys. Whoa, this is a scary world we ended up in. World 6-1 was a bit annoying, because there's a volcano in the background that keeps shooting lava boulders our way, and dodging them all is a bit tricky, but not too bad either. 6-Ghost House was so annoying. This level is actually a maze. I got lost for way too long until I finally found the switch that allowed me to leave this gosh dang place. Luckily for me, it didn't feature any enemies that I needed to fight, so we're good. 6-2 is all about riding this skull boat thing on lava, and while a bunch of enemies will end up boarding the boat, they typically just leave on their own eventually, so we never have to attack them. 6-3 was a very simple underground level, and dodging all of the enemies wasn't even a challenge. Alright, I guess this is where things will go bad. We absolutely have to enter World 6-Tower now, as there are no other paths that allow us to dodge the level. I did some research online hoping for a secret exit somewhere, a warp pipe or whatever, but alas, nope, we have to play the stage. Let's enter it and face our destiny, shall we? The level in itself isn't too difficult. I mean, it features all sorts of fire things out to burn our butts, but the few enemies we encounter can absolutely all be dodged. No, the real problem awaits behind this big wooden door here. It's my boy Reznor again, and there's actually 4 of them this time around. Well, I guess we absolutely have to hit those blocks now. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Whew. I feel bad. 4 victims and 4 acts of violence all of a sudden in the same level. The pacifist run is now officially dead, but let's hope to avoid doing more violence from now on. 6-4 was full of peepas holding platforms and crows trying to attack us, but I managed to dodge them all. 6-5 wasn't too difficult either. I mean, sure, it does feature a bunch of Bowser statues spitting fire our way, but nothing that we can't dodge. Time for 6-Bowser, the final level of the day, and it wasn't very difficult to dodge all of the enemies on my way to that big final door. Let's open it up and see what's behind. Hey, it's my boy Bowser, and he's throwing hammers at me. Hey bro, that's not nice. Let me quickly hit that switch here and... uh-oh, he fell down in the pit. I guess that counts as an act of violence, right? Oh well, the Koopalings will actually resurrect Bowser, and now it's time to get to the top of this big vertical tower. Avoiding Bowser's attacks wasn't too difficult, and well, a couple minutes later, I reached this big button, and I guess let's push it. There we go. Bowser is gone, and the princess is saved. We beat the game! Yay! Is it possible to beat New Super Mario Bros. 2 without using violence? Well, sadly, no, it isn't. But hear me out. we did manage to get through all of the first few worlds without hurting a single thing by using the warp cannons and finding a bunch of secret exits, which was actually quite cool. In the end, I had to commit 4 acts of violence to defeat Reznor, 1 to defeat Bowser, and 1 more to defeat the giant Bowser. This brings up the total to 6 acts of violence, which, to be fair, ain't that bad, all things considered. I think Mario did a great job this time around, and I am proud of him. Good job, my dude. Hey, thanks a lot for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to subscribe to the channel to see more, and tap the cards on screen for even more epic videos. I even have a podcast with Nathaniel Bandy. Check that out. Okay, bye-bye.